ABD Stadium here in Broadmeadows. My name is Michael Zapponi. Joining me tonight for this FFA Cup fixture is Scott Miller. Scott, what a perfect setting tonight for this one between Avondale FC, one of the powerhouses of Victorian football, and the Wellington Phoenix. Should be an intriguing contest between these two this evening.
Yeah, well, we're spoiled, aren't we? Look at the conditions tonight in comparison to a few weeks ago. We've got rid of the big coats and we're ready to go. I tell you what, I woke up this morning, I'm excited by this one. You've got an A-League team coming down here, obviously travelling away from home against one of the bigger, best teams in Victoria as well. Real powerhouse in Victoria. Real attacking style, so it's going to be a great game tonight. The
first ever meeting between Avondale and Wellington Phoenix in the FFA Cup. Of course, the Phoenix have won only one of their three matches here in Victoria. Let's take a look at the lineup. And Avondale have been involved in competitive football in the last week. They won the Doherty Cup final, but a couple of changes have been forced upon them. And Liam Boland, a name that is familiar with all fans of the FFA Cup in past years, is missing tonight. He was out with a red card in that Doherty Cup final. It means he misses that. That's a huge blow for Avondale. And Yusuf Ahmed as well, another exciting player, misses this evening with a hamstring injury. So a couple of players down, but still some very good names on that team sheet.
Yeah, very strong team. As I said, a powerhouse in Victoria. You know, you look at the goals they scored during last season's MPL as well. They're a real strong powerhouse. Going to be a big challenge for Wellington this evening.
Wellington lineup is a strong one. Coach Ufuk Tele names a very strong starting 11 as opposed to what we saw a couple of weeks ago when they defeated Western United down in Geelong, where it was a really young squad. A lot of experience comes back into the starting 11 for Ufuk Tele, indicating that he's taking this competition very seriously.
Yeah, listen, you don't get to these stages of the FFA Cup to play youth. You know, that time's gone. So, you know, on another perspective, they really need to find their form. You know, obviously a big defeat against Newcastle on the weekend as well, getting some minutes into the senior team in preparation for Sunday's game against Sydney.
I reckon Ufuk Tele will be happy that this game is being played at ABD Stadium, given his Turkish heritage. They put on a fantastic feed after the game, so I'm sure he'll partake in that.
He was spot on. He was royalty over there before I was up there, and he knew everyone. He was speaking the language. He was getting amongst it, you know, photos. So he's very popular around these areas.
A magnificent night for football here in Broadmeadows, in the northern suburbs of Melbourne. You couldn't ask for more as the Avondale side prepare for one of the big nights in the history of this club, a club that has had an extraordinary recent history, working its way up the different divisions of Victorian football. A lot of investment has gone into building this squad, and in the last couple of seasons have been one of the most feared oppositions when it comes to NPL football. They were leading the competition 2 years ago when the shortened season was called off with COVID, and they were right up amongst it again last season when, again, the Victorian season was cancelled.
Yeah, that's why I'm excited for tonight. You've got, as I said, one of the powerhouses, top leading Victorian side against a strong A-League side as well. And what we'll see tonight is what is the difference between the two levels of football.
This will be Avondale's second appearance in the FFA Cup round of 16. They did defeat the Devonport City Strikers 4-1 in their inaugural fixture at this stage in 2018. And you might remember they advanced and played Sydney FC here, and they made it difficult for Sydney FC that night. Sydney FC ended up winning that one and going through, but Ufuk Tele was part of the Sydney FC coaching staff. I was talking to him last night, and he remembers that night vividly right here at ABD Stadium. So it will be a stiff test. He's fully aware of his opponents and has watched the Doherty Cup final, which was last week, and they've been doing their research on this Avondale side. Coached by Zoran Markovsky, one of the up-and-coming coaches in Victorian football.
Yeah, well, it's going to be interesting just looking how Wellington normally set up. You know, the 4-4-2 system in comparison to the 4-3-3. So that extra man in midfield for Avondale will be really interesting to see Wellington combat that later in the game.
Joey Katabian standing over the ball to get proceedings underway. A name familiar to A-League fans. Katabian formerly on the books of Melbourne Victory and has been here at Avondale. Here's Rico Bene with an early touch for Avondale. Matthew Reid also in possession. And another player that we're all looking forward to seeing tonight at the back. I'm sure they'll have plenty of work to do. Yitte Towns, all dispossessed in the midfield, as Wellington, a very strong lineup tonight, look to take the ascendancy right from the get-go. The shot from Ben Wayne is deflected. Of course, it was Ben Wayne who scored the goal for the Wellington Phoenix to bring them through to this stage of the competition against Western United. A good run by Valentini, one of the stars of this side. A great cutback, and that's a top save by Ollie Sale. He had to be sharp early doors, and that's a terrific opportunity for Avondale.
Wow, what a start. You know, you look at the possession, Wellington in clear possession there on a forced mistake in midfield. Clear break, and what an opportunity for Avondale in the early stages.
Well, Stefan Valentini is a player that has trialled at A-League clubs, has scored plenty of goals, and he's the one that I'm sure will catch the eye tonight.
Oh, he's certainly powerful there. You see how he went on beyond the fullback there, but more importantly, found that key pass that a lot of players really struggle with in the final third.
Here's Josh Sotirio down the other end of the park for the Wellington Phoenix. Was there a nudge in the back? The Wellington bench certainly thought there was. Play on the call. Here's Mario Barcia. And Matthew Reid at the heart of the defence. His wayward pass. Wellington Phoenix obviously away from home for such a long period of time. Fenton, who set up the goal in their last FFA Cup encounter, playing on the right-hand side. Delivered a wonderful ball for Ben Wayne against Western United. David Ball dispossessed, and Avondale stream forward again. Switch of play by Blake Carpenter. Cut out. The header won by Hillier. And a free kick awarded to Avondale. One thing we'll note about Avondale is they will attack. They will come out and try and win this game from the outset. They won't be sitting back trying to soak up pressure. That's the style of football they play in the NPL, and I don't think we'll see a change tonight. No, so they should. They're such a positive side, and you look at the quality out there as well. You know, if you look at the early stages, they're controlling possession in good areas, and their system as well is giving Wellington some troubles. Blake Carpenter on the ball. Did well under pressure. Cabeno to Matthew Reid. Inside to Yite Towns. Did well under pressure. Turned around and created some space. Here's Katabian looking to release out on that right-hand side. It just broke down there, but some promising signs early for Avondale. Blake Carpenter put himself under too much pressure there with his first touch. So Wellington now through Joshua Laws, spreads it out to the left-hand side. Interesting to see Ball's position here. He's playing wide right, but he's dropping into those pockets to allow Fenton's time and space to get in advanced areas here to overload this fullback. Ball. They've broken the line there. Sotirio's got plenty of place. He's a great chance for Joshua Sotirio, and he finishes it with aplomb. Beautifully taken and wonderfully worked by Ufuk Tale's Wellington Phoenix. 1-0 to the Knicks. What a start against the run of play there. But as I said, Ball in those pockets, allowing Fenton to get high, but the fullback being pulled out of his shape there. And obviously that forward pass in behind. What a finish. What a start for Wellington. We've seen him score over the years, Joshua Sotirio. Ball played a fantastic pass for Sotirio. And that's what you want from your attackers. Give them an opportunity and make sure they not only hit the target, but find that corner. And he did that time, made it very difficult for Rory Bryan in goal. Yeah, something that really worked on. Ball on the half turn. That way to pass up, that's not easy, but fantastic finish from Sotirio. We saw a little bit of it on the A-League on the weekend with the game at a crucial phase. 1-1 Adelaide United against Melbourne Victory, and Mohamed Toure was in on goal, and instead of looking up and trying to find a corner, he hit it straight at the goalkeeper, and that makes a huge difference in a crucial time of a game. And Sotirio did beautifully then. Oh, big time. And now you can see the Avondale's balance and rhythm has broken up. The last 3 or 4 passes a bit sloppy, so the ascendancy's now with Wellington Phoenix. Can they control the tempo and the rhythm? You know, that will be the biggest challenge now. Yeah, we saw inside the first minute the first chance of the evening. And that was created by Avondale. How can they respond? Crucial now, these next few minutes. Here's Fenton.
Well, it's very clear Ball's going to be the main player in the build-up here. They're obviously looking for Fenton to get high and wide, but just identify Ball, and he's standing in those little pockets, and the left fullback can't engage.
Rufer. To Tim Payne. Josh Law's pass cut out. And now Avondale look to rebound. They've got numbers in the box. Ball deflected. Katabian with a chance. That's a wonderful opportunity for Joey Katabian. Fell on his right foot and he just miscued it. Another great opportunity for Avondale.
Once again, great composure from the wide player out there to cut that back and find a striker's feet. But you know what? At this level, you'd expect a little bit more.
Yeah. Yazid Said was out on the right-hand side. Another ball over the top for Sotirio. Plays it straight back to Ball. Nice 1-2. Promising again for the next. Oh, look at that. Class by Ball. Gets around one. Couldn't get around the second.
Ball's up for it tonight.
Toying with them there, weren't they?
Certainly did. He's up for it tonight. As I said, he's just finding that time and space so much. He's got that flexibility. Does he play inside the pocket or is he high and wide as well? Good relationship with Fenton so far.
So that's a corner kick for Wellington. Looking into the sun, Lewis Fenton. Plenty of action inside the box. The referee just going over to have a chat to make sure not too much is happening. Adam Bavkar, our referee this evening. Here comes the delivery from the corner to the near post. Plenty of Avondale players there. Katabian it was with the clearance. Sotirio tries to keep it in play. Wins front position. No, he tried to shield it over and did win the throw in. And there won't be any rush here.
You know, for me, that's a real frustrating point of the game where you see players unopposed taking a corner kick and the delivery's so poor. They set up in that way and obviously they don't get the outcome required.
Here's Ball again. Looks up, assesses his options. Decides to go back to Pennington. And now Laws. Pennington tries to find the long pass. Opportunity here for Avondale through Valentini. Head down and off he goes. Stefan Valentini now on the right peg. Nice ball in. And once again, that's well worked from the left-sided player, Valentini, for Katabian.
Yeah, he's had a really positive start. Very evident how they want to break. They want to win that ball in the middle of the pitch and break very quickly into the wide areas and deliver that ball really early as the back four of Wellington are dropping off into those dangerous areas.
So Wellington Phoenix with the advantage here in this round of 16 clash in the FFA Cup. Hope you're enjoying the action from ABD Stadium. A perfect night for football. Sun shining in Melbourne today. And Wellington with an opportunity to get forward again through Piscopo. He had some space. I'll switch play. Fenton at full stretch. Couldn't quite keep it in play.
Yeah, unlucky. You know, we were talking just prior to the game commencing about the 4-3-3 versus the 4-4-2, and obviously Ulfik Tully's setting up in that 4-4-2, but what happens with the wide players coming inside, it's making that a 4v3 in midfield with a box midfield. So that's how he's counteracting that system.
Scott Miller in special comments this evening. Throw in by Blake Carpenter to Matthew Reid and the goalkeeper Rory Bryan, who missed the Doherty Cup final. Back in the side tonight. Rufer plays it back. Get the sense that Ulfik Tully wasn't happy with that.
No, I think he's got everything to be concerned about in there. Not necessarily a negative component of it, but high standards. You know, they're preparing for Saturday as well. This is an important competition. He doesn't want sloppiness. He wants things crisp. He wants things quick, and he wants to win this game.
Wellington Phoenix obviously just looking to bounce back after that defeat to the Newcastle Jets last weekend. Newcastle played some wonderful football. And when you're on the receiving end of a result like that, it's important to get back on the park and try and rectify it.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I watched the game as well, and yeah, Newcastle played well in parts, and I enjoyed watching the game, but you see where the goals came from. Majority of the goals were inside the 18-yard box as well, so that would have concerned him.
Here we go again for the Knicks. Another great opportunity, this time down the left. Fenton. Crossed just a little bit too high for him. His ball. Now Fenton again. Payne. Pennington. Now out to the right-hand side for Fenton in plenty of space. There's time to assess his options. Ball. Can't find the pass. Valentini got in the way, but ball bounces back. It's been very good early as David Ball for the Wellington Phoenix.
He started brilliantly, but you can hear Ufuk Tully there shouting about his team. When you're in that final third and you can't penetrate with any quality, keep it, rotate, keep possession and keep that pressure on.
Piscopo with a 1-2, beautifully played. Still going, Rene Piscopo. And fouled just outside the area. This is a dangerous position, and I reckon the player that was fouled will be putting his hand up to take this free kick.
No, I think you could be right there, Zappers. But just going back to that point, the patience as well. A lot of teams force things quite a lot of the time as well. But having ball on the ball in that situation, no pun intended, in rotating out and playing through those thirds, but progressively is so important for teams.
Well, this is an inviting position. Rene Piscopo can hit a dead ball. Sam Sutton also standing over the ball. So some work to do here for Rory Bryan in the Avondale goal. Six-man wall, getting their act together. Piscopo. Plenty of time to size it up. Or is it Sutton? It might be Sutton. No, it is Piscopo. He hits it low. And Rory Bryan did well to get his body behind it and take it cleanly.
Yeah, he did indeed. Straight at the goalkeeper.
Valentini tries to get around Fenton. Gets around Fenton and then tries again against Alex Rufer.
Valentini just trying a little bit too hard there. He had the player inside that he could have bounced off and got a bit more further up the pitch with a better decision.
Now chance for Sotirio again. Tries the chip. Oh. That is brilliant by Josh Sotirio. What a finish. A double for the striker. And Wellington double their advantage. That is as good as you'll see.
What a finish. Unbelievable. Great composure. And to be fair, with his CV, you'd expect that level of quality. But just fast forward or rewind, my apologies, further up the pitch, Valentini gave the ball away unnecessarily. They had numbers and look at the break. That is what an A-League team can do to different level of opposition.
That is top football from the Wellington Phoenix. First class finish from Josh Sotirio. And he's having a night out in Broadmeadows.
What a start we've got. Superb. Great to watch.
I had a few night out in Broadmeadows when I was a kid. I grew up just around the corner from here.
Well, that jacket doesn't suggest the case. Hey, is that linen? Looking good, my man.
This is home territory. The northern suburbs. As Wellington come again. Piscopo with an amazing run. Cuts it back. Another opportunity inside the area. Again, this could be dangerous here for Avondale. They need to get their composure.
Yeah, They certainly do. And what you're seeing, you're playing on counter-attack here. You look at the disconnect from midfield to the back four. At this situation here, they're under the pump. They need to bring the heart rates down, keep that ball and rotate it. Similar to Ufuk Tally's mentality. Get into the attacking half, be a bit more patient and get the ball up the pitch. But I must say, Wellington, what a start. First 15-20 minutes, they're at it. They started obviously a bit scratchy. However, in the last 10-15 minutes, they've been brilliant with the ball.
Well, the Avondale did score 39 goals in the NPL season in 2021. Most of any team that season.
Obviously that big out of Boland would have potentially made a difference tonight, but coach can only select who's available, and this is who he's got tonight. So he'll be asking for a little bit more from Kate up there.
Yeah, Joe Katabian's had a couple of half chances tonight. So it's been end-to-end stuff.
So I'm just looking at outside centre-backs there, actually getting the ball a bit more progressive and taking a touch forward, because you look at Ball's position here, he needs to engage the wide player here, but the centre-backs can drive further into midfield.
So some position here for Avondale. The shot from long range, looking to test the keeper, was Christian Trajewski. That was an easy one. Regulation for Ollie Sale. Ufuk Tale wanting a foul there for a push in the back. Not happy, even though he's 2-0 up.
No, he's obviously, reflecting on the last weekend's game. He needs to raise the standards and prepare them for the weekend as well. Be competitive tonight, win the game, but also reset everyone as well.
Tell you what, if you thought Wellington Phoenix were under pressure, their opponents this weekend in the A-League, Isuzu men's A-League competition, Sydney FC.
Yeah.
That is a huge game for Steve Corica. Of course, Fuktele knows Steve Corica well, played with him at Sydney FC, coached with him at Sydney FC. A great ball through, an opportunity here for Saeed. Well done by Ollie Sale. He read the situation well. The yellow card goes up.
That's
against
great
Joey Katabian.
That's great goalkeeping, connecting with his back four. You look at the size of the young man as well. He's enormous in there, but just that covering position and ability to take that ball without taking the player, outstanding. Yeah, that'll be an interesting game. Sydney FC, Wellington, similar systems in terms of style of play. The coaches are friends. They'll know each other very well. The game plans will be analysed throughout the week. Who's going to find the difference for the weekend?
And a positive result tonight, not just a result, but a positive display such as that we've seen so far.
Yeah.
How much does it help the players in that squad, especially when they're away from home? They've got a lot of time to think about things.
Yep.
For Wellington.
Well, you can lose different ways. You can lose by playing well, but you can lose, obviously, by playing not well as a unit. And to concede the way they did, that was the biggest challenge. The reaction is all about attitude and mentality. That's the first thing coaches will look for. You can control that, and I think that's the first thing you really look for.
Saeed. Now Barcia. Rico Bennett. Blake Carpenter, back to Rico Bennett. It's Matthew Reid playing it out to the right-hand side. Ite Towns, sharp. Now inside for Trajewski. Spreads it to Valentini. That's a nice ball by Trajewski. Valentini has the overlapping run from Carpenter. Decides to go inside and then switch play to the opposite side. Ute Towns tries a shot from distance. They'll get another opportunity here. Ball played into the area. And rebounded away for Ben Wayne. He's got plenty of pace on him. 2v4 here. Numbers with Avondale. And the numbers one out. Probably needed to release that pass. There's a touch earlier. Sotirio was making a good run.
Yeah, certainly. Listen, it's one of those ones. You look at young players, you love to see that ambition, but the game awareness is really important as well. No one was really in support. Yes, you've got Sotirio. You're 2-0 up. What's the decision? I can see Ufuk telling him, talking about that now. Just prior to that point there, I was looking how Avondale were building up and how, more importantly, how Wellington is set up in terms of how they're pressing. Their work rate, their front four is very, very high. You can see them trying to force them outside. And on the flip side of that, you look at how Avondale need to be playing through that midthird. They've got that extra number. So rather than playing out from their fullbacks, they need to be playing through their midfield.
Ite Towns. Now Carpenter inside, looking for Katabian. Well defended. Ball, who set up the first for Wellington. Nice feet from David Ball, and wins the free kick for the Wellington Phoenix. Josh Sotirio in receipt. And we're just 20 minutes in. Don't write off Avondale yet. Plenty of quality in this side. Here's Fenton. Avondale, of course, winning a free passage to this stage of the competition. They were drawn against Devonport in the round of 32 from Tasmania, but due to COVID, Devonport decided not to make the trip, hence giving Avondale the forfeit into the round of 16. The winner of this one, of course, playing Melbourne City next week. Stay tuned for details on kick-off times. Of course, if it is Wellington, they are unable to host the game. So it would be either Avondale or Melbourne City to play host to that fixture. Most likely to be played on Wednesday of next week. So plenty of football coming thick and fast. We love it, midweek football.
The old Christmas timer, flat out. Games every weekend. Love it. You know, this is a crucial time for Avondale now. You know, going in at half-time, 2 or 3, there's a big, big difference with that. You know, 2, you can still get back into the game. So the concentration and awareness now from that set piece is going to have to be paramount.
We saw Wellington waste an opportunity, the last corner kick on the opposite flank. Rene Piscopo over the ball this time. Short one for Ball. Sotirio makes the run. It's played to the far post. It's a terrific cross. And there is the third. Wellington Phoenix running riot in Broadmeadows. The header across the face from Alex Rufer, then bundled over the line. That was a really smart ball to the far post.
Yeah, awesome. And it all started by taking that short corner. That moved the starting positions of Avondale. And as you saw, he spun out and found that space at the back. Outstanding technique on the cross. But more importantly, the lack of awareness from Avondale. They need to read that and see that. That's nothing new. They come against that every weekend.
Great header by Rufer. I think it might have just taken a touch there on the line.
Marginal touch, but
Ben
fantastic.
Wayne? I think it might have been Ben Wayne. We'll get confirmation of that. Plenty of bodies in there. Ben Wayne did score against Western United a fortnight ago to get them here. But that third is going to make things very difficult now for Avondale.
Yeah, that's tough. Now, you know, you're talking about semi-professional players. How hard are they going to push now? You know, they're into their pre-season. How hard are they going to push to get into this game? You know, it's such a positive cup tie for them, but it's a big, big task for them to come back now.
Oh, wow. That was a really, really bad challenge. And that is a straight red. Blake Carpenter. Won't want to see that on replay. And it is on in Broadmeadows.
Yeah, uncalled for. 3-0 down. obviously 50-50 tackle, but he's gone in there with the wrong mentality. Not necessarily to hurt the player, but you know what? There's a respect for your opponent, and he certainly didn't show that there.
Well, things are going from bad to worse for Avondale. 3 goals down inside 25 minutes. And then that late and dangerous challenge from Blake Carpenter, and he is straight off.
He knew straight away, Zap, as he walked. He got up, checked if the player was okay, and then was straight off the pitch.
So 3 down and now a man down as well. Avondale. It's been a nightmare in this round of 16 contest. Good to see Louis Fenton back on his feet and no serious damage there.
Yeah. Both brave, both very brave going in for the tackle, but the intent was far too aggressive.
Wellington Phoenix fans yelling out, "We want 10."
They're certainly vocal. They're enjoying this, that's for certain. 3-0 up. Opposition down to 10 men. They're expecting 10. I'm not sure if they'll get there, but let's see.
So a bit going on the bench. Andy Vargas coming over and having a word to the Wellington Phoenix bench as well. The assistant coach, someone that you know quite well.
Yeah, he used to kick me at training down at Gippsland when I was a youth player, so very passionate, but a great guy. But he's actually not condoning the tackle at all. He recognises that the tackle was wrong, but obviously he just wants things to calm down. But as we know, Zappers, the passion of football overrides common sense at times.
So plenty happening here in Broadmeadows. Those who know the area of Broadmeadows probably wouldn't be surprised.
I think you've got a bit about you, huh? Huh? In disguise, assassin. You know, it's interesting now as coaches in the NPL here. You know, they're leading their team. They're obviously 3-0 down to 10 men. How are they going to respond to actually galvanise their team? What are they going to get out tonight? You know, 3-0 is very difficult to come back, but are they going to keep working on systems? Are they going to change some things to impact and potentially prepare for the season? But what they don't want to do is obviously live TV here. They don't want this to fall apart and let themselves down.
Yellow card handed out to Matthew Reid as well in that fracas. So if you just joined us, you missed plenty. You've missed plenty. Stay tuned. I reckon there'll be more. Josh Sotirio has scored a brace inside the first 20 minutes. Ben Wayne, I think it was, with the final touch. We'll get confirmation of that shortly for Wellington's third. And then Blake Carpenter sent off for a very late challenge on Louis Fenton. So Avondale now down to 10 men.
You know, shifting into that shape, 4-4-1 here. Kate Bin's got a lot of work to do now. So in sense of, does he drop off, delay that mid-third, or does he go and impress those centre-backs? But obviously they've got to get back into the game. Ufuk Tully will be happy with this. His team are winning 3-0, but you can still hear the body language and the energy out there is pushing more. They want the standards to be higher. They want to create more chances. They're obviously preparing for Saturday now, and those standards need to really be upheld.
So much uncertainty for these players. Wellington, they left their home in New Zealand before the season started, of course. They've been based in New South Wales, not able to travel back to New Zealand.
It's quite surreal, Zappers, when you think about it. Just being away from your routine, your family, your friends, must be very difficult. You know, they say it's great for groups to be a part of things, but very, very challenging.
Pennington is the next player to go into the book. That challenge from behind. Punished with a yellow card. And it's not for a week or two, it's a season.
Yeah.
And not knowing whether you can go back to New Zealand, so much uncertainty, must be so difficult to deal with.
Well, I don't know if I'd be able to do it, if I'm honest, you know. You're always in a hotel. People love being home. What about just seeing your family and friends and disconnecting from football as well? There's only certain amount of sessions you can do. You know, players regenerate differently sometimes, and that's going for a serve, seeing their family, doing different things. So the monotony is very, very difficult for the coaching staff not to be very...
Well, we did catch up with Ufuk Tele last night, and an extensive chat with him available on our podcast, Football from A to Z. I'll get a plug in there for that one. But if you're interested in Ufuk Tele and his career and what they're going through at the moment, jump on board that one. Here's Ball winning the free kick again. Valentini, he's a player that goes at it. He doesn't take a backward step, Stefan Valentini. He'll continue fighting here right to the death.
Yeah, he will. But you know what? He has to demonstrate some maturity as well. You know, pulling a player when he's been completely beaten, he might as well actually just recover and do it right, because if he's got intentions to play at the A-League, opposition coaches look for that level of discipline as well as quality on the ball.
So it's been a wonderful start to this one for the Wellington Phoenix. Played some great football, scored 2 fantastic goals as well. The third one was well worked also, as the offside flag goes up, and Avondale will get a moment of reprieve.
They've got great variety in their style of play at the moment. You look at Ball and Piscopo, they've got that variety of playing high and wide, or more importantly, boxing out that midfield. And you just see Piscopo there receiving high and wide instead of in that area in behind the back, the midfield 4 there. As you see, getting on the half turn, it's such an effective area to get on the ball.
Headed away by Scott Hillier for Avondale. Only as far as Ball. Got plenty of space to work in here. Now Fenton. Not suffering any after effects of that challenge, Louis Fenton. Ben Wayne in the middle. Too high for him. Ball is there to sweep it up. Now Rufa. Payne. You can hear the call from Ufuk Tele. Keep it. So they switch play, maintaining possession. Doing it with ease at the moment, the Wellington Phoenix. Here's Sotirio. He's on a hat-trick. Piscopo was looking for the 1-2. Now played in for ball by Fenton. 50-50 contest there. Could have gone either way. Mario Barcia with the challenge, but it does fall for Wellington, and another corner kick for the Knicks.
Yeah, really good play. You know, patient in the build-up.
Louis Fenton taking this one. He's been taking them from this side, and Piscopo from the other. On the left, just a short one this time. Well worked. Sotirio will look to loop it to the far post. Wow. Ben Wayne is there, just a little heavy, but he was unmarked again.
Once again, you know, playing that short corner, it's 3v3, but Avondale's response to the short corner is too slow. They need more pressure on the ball carrier, and then more importantly, the goalkeeper's organising that back 4 as well. Why are they finding that space at the back post so often?
Katabian coming very deep. Played back to the keeper. Did bobble up for Rory Bryant. Had some work to do. Ufuk Tele still not happy. Something he's seeing is demanding excellence with every pass. and every move from his side.
I think that's one where you send one of your players out to warm up so the player on the pitch sees it, and he may well just lift his levels a little bit.
They've broken the line again here, Piscopo. He's great on the ball, Rene Piscopo. What a terrific pass that was from Rene Piscopo. Full credit to the keeper. Ben Wayne was straight in on goal, and Rory Bryan had to be quick off his line, and he was.
How good is that, Zabba? Seeing those attacking midfielders, i.e. Piscopo in this situation, receiving on the half-turn, being brave, driving the gap, committing that centre-back, and that little sliding key pass in between players. So effective. Great to watch.
Yeah, they're on song tonight, the Wellington Phoenix. Piscopo swings it into the near post. Ball was there. Got just a flick. Needed a little bit more contact. Sotirio. He was fouled. And they win another free kick in a precarious position.
Geez, Ball's really impressed me tonight. His energy and attitude's really driving the team forward. Touch on the ball. Awareness of time and space. Fantastic tonight.
I have to be careful here, Avondale, because they could go down another player. Another yellow card handed out. And it was for that challenge there by Joey Katabian. Or was it Barcia? No, it was Barcia.
Yep.
Apologies. Once again, very dangerous position for Avondale. Rene Piscopo standing over the ball. Seen him score from this range before. Sam Sutton, the other one. It'll be Rene Piscopo to stand up. Not enough dip on it that time. His first one was low and hard. This time he tried to get it over the wall and to dip. Didn't quite get his execution right.
Complete control now, Wellington Phoenix here. Balance of play obviously is in their favour, but just looking at the decisions of the goalkeeper and the centre-back there, giving the ball away far too easily. Yes, we can make excuses. 10 men, 3-0 down, but let's have a bit more intent and a bit more quality in possession.
Roofer and Payne and Pennington in the midfield doing as they please at the moment.
And we can see Piscopo here. He'll just get on the ball on the half turn, really affecting the starting position of the fullback there.
Here's Pennington. One possession 9 times. Pennington in the last FFA Cup match a couple of weeks ago against Western United. The most by any player in that game. A young player who was born in Rome. Brought to the Wellington Phoenix by Ufuk Tele. Here he is on the ball, right on cue. Pennington to Roofer. Now Louis Fenton. As you can see from the sun setting in the west. Perfect conditions for football tonight. A slight breeze. A great advertisement for FFA Cup football here at ABD Stadium. Payne. Laws plays it long down the left-hand side. Wayne was there looking for the cross. Piscopo. Over the top, Piscopo was making the run. Avondale with a chance now on the rebound. Payne makes good position, wins the foot race. Sayed couldn't get there. Wellington, look at the time and space they've got now to work it forward again.
Yeah, this is going to be tough. The remaining, not only of this half, the second half as well, so tough for Avondale in these conditions. But, the answer's not clear either, because Wellington are on form to such a degree. They're just finding solutions everywhere, whether or not it's fullbacks playing high or Piscopo and ball in those pockets. If Avondale go narrow and compact, well, the space is outside. So the halftime talk is going to be about structure and organisation.
Well-timed challenge there on the last line of defence. Needed to be, as Wellington streamed forward again. Short corner again. We've seen this on several occasions this evening. Here's Pennington. Thought he'd try his luck. He found some space. Took a deflection over the line. Another corner.
Certainly adventurous from 20, 30 yards out. Possibly better options here in terms of playing Rufer on the outside here. But not to beat. Wanted to beat the goalkeeper from 30 or 40.
Wellington losing their only previous appearance in the round of 16 in the FFA Cup, and that was a 5-1 defeat to Melbourne City back in 2015. Tonight's round of 16 contest is going very differently for the side from New Zealand. Piscopo, nice shape on the ball. Sotirio will chase it down. Avondale just sitting off the ball and all inside Wellington's half. Here they go. The header. Straight to the keeper that time.
He almost had time to bring that down in his chest there, in the 18-yard box.
Yeah.
Almost.
That wind picking up, as you can hear, as we approach half-time. Everything gone according to plan for Ufuk Tele's side. He'll be very pleased with this after their A-League performance on the weekend.
Oh, this will give him some real belief and confidence, coming here, unsure what he was going to get from his side tonight. The reaction's been positive, but, it's always nice sitting there as a coach now at halftime knowing your team talk. You don't have to energise your team necessarily. You just need to keep them competitive, keep that structure, and more importantly, really define it's about discipline now.
And, you're in a luxury position where you can make some changes, rest some players, perhaps at half-time as well.
Yeah, that will certainly be on his mind, especially to his key players. The work rate at the front four has been really high. Can he utilise the bench and give some experience? There's no doubt he'll do that.
Garcia had to be careful there. He's already on a yellow. Katabian did well with the nutmeg. Plays it to Valentini, who's switched flanks. Valentini in some space. The short pass. Katabian, the fancy flick. Garcia sprays his shot. That was better from Avondale.
Nah, much better. You look where that actually started from, back third. Great play through that mid-third. Just that final touches, but what's up is that comes down to energy now. They've been doing so much work out of possession. Getting in those forward areas, you're thinking, right, when this breaks, I need to go the other way as well.
So one more chance here for the Knicks as we approach 45-minute mark. Rufer, ball, look at the space he has to turn here. Fenton plays an early ball in. Wayne was there. Garcia with the back heel to clear it. Now Trajchevski. Katabian. Garcia wins the foul. Avondale come into this game with a couple of big players missing. Liam Boland and Yusuf Ahmed both started the Doherty Cup final last week. Boland suspended through a red card. Yusuf Ahmed out with a hamstring. Two massive holes for Zoran Markovski's side to fill. But they've been outclassed in this first 45 at ABD Stadium.
Yeah, just in wide areas, really lacking that final touch quality, but also ideas as well. Because they're so stretched and they've only got 10 men, they keep finding themselves in 2v1 situations, and that's going to be difficult for anyone.
Surely the final phase of play. We've had a couple of minutes added due to the extended stoppage after the challenge on Louis Fenton. Here's ball. Another free kick. Bassier it was again, putting the pressure.
He's been a huge focal point tonight. Ball in those key areas. He's getting a lot of interest from the opponent there, but just his awareness on the half turn, looking to bring Fenton in at all times. He's that one that's rotating that possession.
So they'll have to defend one more set piece. Avondale. He's had a couple of sights on goal. Rene Piscopo. This one a little further out. He might prefer the extra distance.
Yeah, it might actually help him.
Here he goes, Rene Piscopo. Third time lucky, this time he drives it into the wall. And that ends an extraordinary first half of football here at ABD Stadium. We've seen it all, a send-off, 3 goals, a bit of biffo, a wonderful first half here. A first half that sees the Wellington Phoenix in full control and in the box seat to make it through to the quarter-final of the FFA Cup. Still plenty going on off the ball, Scott.
It's all happening still. We've obviously got Fenton here getting involved. He's obviously still not happy, but, more importantly, I'm looking at the coaches down, opposition teams. They're now connecting and recognising they need to calm down and lead these teams respectfully, not only for football, but the competition. Fantastic game, albeit the direct free kicks. Everything else has been really positive for Wellington.
Plenty more where that came from on the other side of this break. At half-time, it's Avondale 0, Wellington Phoenix 3. been a very different story.
Yeah, it's actually not something I expected tonight. I thought Avondale would have provided a lot more resistance. Irrespective of the 10 men, they started quite positively, created a few chances, half chances at that, but more importantly, Wellington were just clinical. They found their rhythm really quickly after the initial stages, controlled possession, and then those strikes on goal were just fantastic. Well worked, clinical, and fantastic finishes.
And Avondale, we went from bad to worse for them. They had a player sent off after conceding the third goal, and Blake Carpenter, it was down to 10 men as well as being 3 goals down. It's going to be a long second half for Zoran Markovski's side.
Well, as you said, with 2 or 3 omissions, what a fantastic strike there. But more importantly, ball in the half turn, key pass makes it so easy. The way to pass is perfection.
That was the first goal from Sotirio. Rene Piscopo has had plenty of opportunities from the set piece as well. But what I've liked about his game tonight, Rene Piscopo, is the way he's breaking the lines and creating some great opportunities for his teammates. That was the second. And Josh Sotirio with a terrific finish and that loop over the keeper. Not easy to execute.
One thing you won't want to do is be taken off at half-time and rested for the weekend. He's doing so well. But that actually goal came from a situation of losing the ball, Avondale losing the ball in the attacking half. And on the rebound, countered, and obviously Wellington capitalised.
And that goal scored by Ben Wayne. We can confirm that it was Ben Wayne. Here's the challenge that got Blake Carpenter sent off. Louis Fenton was the player on the other side of it. No doubt from the referee that was a straight red card. The opportunities continued to come. Ben Wayne had a chance to add to his tally. That pass a little bit too heavy for him, but he did score the winner for Wellington Phoenix against Western United a fortnight ago in the round of 32. And he's a striker that we've seen perform last season. He's played for the New Zealand under-23s at the Olympic Games earlier this year. A striker who has got great promise and normally takes his chances.
He's a real solid young player. You look at his physical presence on the pitch as well. Just looking at the stats here, it's pretty standard. You're going to see that a team that's obviously got 10 men, but more importantly, the shots and shots on target. Ufuk Tele will be happy with that. 8 shots and 6 on target, really positive.
Yeah, and some movement on the bench as well. I'd imagine that Wellington will make some changes given the position that they're in now. And it looks like Clayton Lewis, who started that game a fortnight ago, will be coming on to the park at the start of the second half. We'll take a break and be back with the second half from ABD Stadium right after this.
My name's Simon Hill, and I'm going to be commentating the national teams and A-League and W-League for Channel 10 and Paramount Plus. What Australian football means to me is everything. I mean, I'm a newcomer to this country, relatively. I came here in 2003. It is a family. It's taken me into their hearts, and now I am evangelical about it. I want it desperately to succeed. And we know we've got a lot of work ahead of us, but we've got...
did start the game a fortnight ago. Get an opportunity to impress his coach in the second half. Nick Pennington was the one to make way. All in readiness now. Adam Bavkar has had plenty to do, the referee. Can Avondale find a response? Huge mountain to climb here at ABD Stadium in this second half. Here's Sutton in front of the commentary position here. Josh Laws plays it back to Ollie Sale. He made a terrific save inside the first minute of the game. It was Wellington who were under pressure inside that first minute, and it could have been a very different story.
No, big time. It was actually the first opportunity of the game. You know, such a great positive start for Avondale, and it's just unravelled ever since then.
Ben Wayne winning front position and winning the free kick as well. Impressive young striker.
We were talking about him in the break, just his physical presence. He's got the ability to be that platform striker as well, but the speed and mobility, as you see now, making those penetrating runs in behind.
He's Sotirio, speaking of impressive, he's been terrific tonight. Cuts the ball back, nobody home there. Barcia just losing possession almost. Did enough to clear the danger momentarily. Ball. He's had a terrific first half, David Ball. And that's the substitute with a heavy first touch, Clayton Lewis.
You know, it'll be the same again. Ufuk Tally will be demanding, you know, similar quality, if not more. But, you know, as for Avondale, in terms of how they get back into this game, that's probably non-existent. But, you know, the coach will want committed attitudes and a bit more quality in possession like we've just seen now.
Said spreads it out to the left-hand side. Valentini, shoulder and shoulder. Can't win the ball back. Stefan Valentini, one of Avondale's goal scorers last season, 14 to his name. Originally from Perth, Stefan Valentini. Here's Ben Wayne. Now Rene Piscopo. Look at the space for Piscopo. Terrific strike and a fantastic save. It required the best from Rory Bryan. But what about the time and space that Rene Piscopo had there?
Yeah, you could see it. The minute he picked that ball up here, you can see his eyes have lit up. He's looking for that far post there. It wasn't as good as we initially thought. It was straight at the goalkeeper, but awesome save from the goalkeeper. But as you said, the time and space, he's actually entering the 18-yard box. I know they're tired, but they need to engage the ball carrier.
Well, almost a goal for the Olyrood. Rene Piscopo. Represented as the under-23s. He's in some space here again. Corner kick. Rufo with the header.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if I see Ufuk Tally there talking about taking it short. They've had so much joy from those short corner kicks. They're down to 10 men. Why not take that, you know, and use that to their advantage?
Oh, there's a turnover here. Piscopo with another opportunity. Now Ben Wayne. And they get out of jail there, Avondale. That's a big mistake at the back. Matthew Reid giving away possession.
You know, it's been evident all night Reid's been that first receiver, so whether or not Wellington have actually identified that in the analysis in the build-up to the game and actually balancing off a little bit to make sure he is that first receiver, the goalkeeper might consider his passing range isn't quite on. Do they actually play out the opposite side now to relieve some pressure on the young player?
Well, the sun has set on a magnificent day in Melbourne. And a magnificent night for football.
Yep, as the subs are heading out now, it wouldn't be surprising in the next 5-10 minutes, manager Ufuk Tally makes those changes.
Near post corner this time, too much swing on it from Piscopo. And they see that one over with ease. Avondale winning their first piece of silverware in the club's history, major silverware, last week in the Doherty Cup final. Avondale defeating Hume City, who we saw here a couple of weeks ago in the FFA Cup against Melbourne City. winning that game 1-0. It was a penalty scored by Valentini.
No mean feat beating Hume. You know, they're a fantastic side, really well organised by the manager. Played really well that night. Very unfortunate in the end to drop out of the FFA Cup.
Here's some of the quality on display from Avondale as they work it forward. Barcia. Valentini. And he wins the free kick, Stefan Valentini.
He's certainly been exposed to the high level of ball pressure tonight, Valentini. He's been getting caught in possession quite a lot of times, so he'll take a lot away from tonight in terms of when he receives the ball. Does he just play it simple, or can he drive the gap?
Long pass. Just, the wind behind it, needing to readjust in the second half. From Katabian that time. Here's Piscopo. Sutton. Plenty of time for Laws to Piscopo. Creating the width when Piscopo now inside. Rufer just gets a bit tangled. A bit lucky there, Alex Rufer.
Very, very fortunate. I think he actually, fell over the ball as opposed to actually got tackled, but very sloppy. It was actually a nice play. You hear Ufuk Tully there building up. They're obviously overloading this left-hand side with Piscopo dropping out into those wide areas, going back inside. They're only doing that because Avondale having to come and compress this side of the pitch, so there will be time and space on the opposite side. Rufer just a little bit quicker in possession, get on that half turn, transfer that ball and get it moving down that right-hand side.
Fenton forced back to his keeper, Ollie Sale. See the ball being held up in the breeze there. Here's Reid. And Hillier. Hillier decides to go back to his goalkeeper under pressure from Ben Wayne. And Wellington will reset and start again.
Yeah, they're in complete control. Obviously they will be, but Ufuk Tully's asking more from Rufer here. Get on the half turn, really create more time and space with the ball. He's actually asking the centre-backs to split here, once again getting this overload.
Wayne receiving from Sutton. Piscopo finds the pass brilliantly. Here's another golden opportunity. The offside flag goes up. On the right-hand side, is it opened up for them? A player down behind play.
Really
Tele
well
asking whether that was reckless, that challenge on Rene Piscopo.
Yeah, the tongue-in-cheek there, but really well worked down this left-hand side. Quick combination, but as I said, identifying when Avondale are pressing on one side, committing those players and then going back inside and identifying the space on the opposite side. Marginally offside. Great opportunity created.
Just a time when you put some of your prized assets in cotton wool. Rene Piscopo just being fouled there and getting up with a little bit of a limp. You might want to think, well, Wellington's got Sydney FC, a big game on the weekend.
Yeah, well, you look at the balance of the back four are comfortable. They can play. They're under no pressure at all. But your Soterios, your Waynes, your Balls, and your Piscopos, they'd be my first subs. Get them off, as you said, wrap them up in cotton wool and protect them for Sunday.
Here's Katabian. Said receiving from Yite Towns, and Avondale win the free kick. Said wanted to move it quickly. Hillier. Square ball. Dangerous one. They managed to avert danger. Only just. Reid. Back to Rory Bryan. Pulled off a terrific save a few minutes ago from Rene Piscopo. Valentini losing his footing that time. We haven't spoken about the catering here at ABD Stadium yet. I know that's part of the FFA Cup, but we'll stay with play at the moment here because I've got a story to tell about that as Fenton tries to whip the ball in. Got to thank the crew here at ABD Stadium, because we were here a couple of weeks ago, Melbourne City and Hume, and often we're preparing for a game, don't get a chance to eat before a game, but gee, what a spread they put on after the game, Scott. I know you left, but this week I implore you to stay.
I'm staying.
Because the feed that the hospitality that the crew at ABD Stadium put on, well worth the extra half an hour.
I'll tell you what, before the game I was up there and they were selling. The profits are big over there. They're absolutely buzzing.
The kebabs are fantastic.
I'll stay this week, Zappers.
Yeah, no, they're great. And I'm sure Ufuk Talay will enjoy it too. Katabian, here's some space for Valentini. Forces him out wide. He has Payne to beat. He'll try and take him on here, Stefan Valentini. He had the pass on at the top of the 18-yard box. He wanted to take it on. Christian Trajewski saying, how about me? He wanted to put his name up in lights, I reckon, there, Stefan Valentini.
And that's what I was talking about before. Finding that balance with young players is so hard. They feel they need to do it all in one moment as opposed to just being consistent for 90 minutes.
Here's another counter. Sotirio on a hat-trick. Selflessly plays it to Rene Piscopo. Shot blocked by Scott Hillier. Valentini will get another chance now. Plenty of yellow shirts around him. Looks for the pass. The nutmeg finds Katabian. Valentini again at full stretch. Tries the shot first time and does win the corner. This is better from Avondale.
Yeah, it is better to a degree, but what I am seeing from Wellington on the counter-attack now, the lack of recovery as well. You had 4 or 5 players not recovering like they did in the first half. So Ufuk Talay will look to his bench now to freshen up that, because that goal from the middle of the park is the reason Avondale are actually creating these chances.
So corner kick here. Ricambene will be to take it as Wellington prepare their first substitutions of this second half. We had one at half-time. Corner comes to the near post, takes a bounce. Ollie Sale watched it carefully as it came through a few bodies. As Callum Elliott and Oscar Van Hattem prepared to make their way onto the pitch. Here's Piscopo. Deserves a goal tonight. Rene Piscopo has been fantastic. Plays a lovely ball over to the far post. David Ball was making the run. It was just a little too advanced for him.
No, you're not wrong. Those two players for me have been fantastic tonight. Really led that line, being the creative outlet for Wellington as well. But, we're talking about standards earlier as well, but they have been very good in possession, really reliable as we see these substitutions entering the field. Always a good place to enter when your team's winning 3-0 as a substitute.
So Joshua Sotirio and Louis Fenton will be the players to come off. Fenton on the receiving end of that late challenge in the first half. Has been moving well since then, but one of the experienced players in this very young squad. Talking to Ufuk Talay last night, and he was telling me that he was unable to sign visa players this year because of COVID restrictions and unable to get players into New Zealand. 13 of his current squad have come through the academy at the Wellington Phoenix, and they're the sort of opportunities that a lot of players are now getting in the A-League, which is great to see. And a couple of the boys that have just come on now fit into that mould. Here's Piscopo. Oh, straight into his opponent. He's got Hillier there.
Back to your point about the academies and stuff like that, now that I work with young players as well and developing young players, it's very much a big passion of mine. But I hope we get to the point, Zappers, that we're not surprised when teams are utilising youth players, and academies are actually really developing players. The coaches are the right ones there, and there's money behind the academy program. So we're seeing more of this. This shouldn't be an outlier for me. This needs to be happening to regenerate the A-League.
Yeah, a point well made, and something we've seen more and more of in recent years, but still a lot more work needs to be done in that space.
Yeah, for sure. You can talk about grassroots, and we talk about the MPL programs as well, but You look at the European system, a lot of Championship and Premier League teams actually looked at the financial viability of academies, and I think it was Huddersfield actually got rid of their academy program because it was costing too much. They were in such an area that Man United and all these teams around them just went and hand-picked them. They would develop them, get to 18, 19 and go, bang, we're taking them, and they've developed them. So they thought to themselves, right, we're going to do away with the academy system deliberately and just focus on staying in the league and actually preparing our first team.
Rene Piscopo back on his feet. Would have been a few worried fans of the Knicks after that clash, but he's back on the park now. And another free kick awarded to Yute Towns this time. Wellington fans finding their voice. They've had plenty to cheer about tonight. Piscopo couldn't control it, and away Avondale go again. The long ball by Barcia, cut out easily by Payne. Wellington with plenty of time to build up from the back again.
You know, you look at the shape of Avondale now going to that back three, that 3-3-3 type shape there, really protecting that middle area of the pitch.
Lewis lost it and creates another opportunity for Avondale here with the free kick. Yute Towns winning it.
Bit of a clumsy moment between the two there.
Katabian. Trejčevski thought about the shot. Piscopo chased him down. Trejčevski thought about it again on his left. Decided to pass it off. Now, Picobene inside. The shot from a distance takes a deflection. Ollie Sale forced into action. Valentini it was from long range.
Great strike.
Hit it sweetly.
Certainly did. Certainly did. He saw the time and space in front. First touch, nice and positive. He was doing nothing but shooting. The deflection at the end really played havoc with Ollie Sale.
A better performance from Avondale in this second half, despite being a man down. Sam Sutton with the header away, but only as far as Katabian. Now Trejčevski tries his luck from a distance on the left. And Christian Trejčevski's shot sails over the crossbar. No pun intended, Ollie Sale.
You know, it's good to see they're actually, you know, remaining consistent with their standards as well as a team. You know, they could have fallen apart 3-0 down, but, you know, they keep pushing one another. They're keeping each other accountable with and without the ball. It's good to see.
Here's Oscar Van Hattem. He's come on as a substitute. Avondale now looking to make some changes as well. Jonathan Gamano, former Melbourne Heart player, coming on. As well as Philip Ricobene. About to make their entrance with their team 3-0 down in this round of 16 clash of the FFA Cup. The winner will face Melbourne City. Here's Said. A wall of yellow in front of him. He looked up, Scott, and he thought, where am I going to give this ball? Wellington doing well to recover there and get plenty of numbers behind the ball.
Yeah, it was really solid defending. Obviously not committing, really making the mind up of the player just by delaying that point of contact as well. But what I've seen, the difference is in the last 5-10 minutes, Avondale shape, we speak about that back three, that three midfield and the couple of players up top as well. They've actually got more connection amongst one another, which means there are more options when they've got the ball. And that's why you can see they're actually keeping the ball a lot more.
Sutton plays it back. Payne. Time to switch things up here. Inside now for Lewis. Now ball. Patient build up again from Ufuk Tele's side. He wants them to move it along more quickly. Rufa loses possession. Deflection, plays it back in favour of his side. Sutton in a tangle with Saeed. And Sutton wins the throw-in.
No, he's talking about Lewis there. He doesn't need to go all the way back to the goalkeeper. If he plays slightly higher on shoulders of their first press, he can get on the half turn and really dictate the next penetration by playing those passes into the next line. But he's not doing that. Ufuk Tele not impressed with his quality so far.
Here are the two changes. Jonathan Camano coming on. And it's one Rico Bene for the other. Sutton inside. Plenty of numbers in that tight space. Valentini came up with it. Katabian tries to release Valentini. The idea was right, but Wellington defending it well. Hillier plays it back to Matthew Reid. Enrico Bennett has just come on with his first touch. Trying to find Ute Towns, and they lose possession. Callum Elliott has just come on for Louis Fenton. The right-hand side of the park for the Wellington Phoenix. The referee's seen something behind play here. Adam Bavkar. Joey Katabian arguing the point. Looks like it will be a Wellington ball. Yeah, free kick to Wellington. I'm not sure what that was for behind the play.
I was just watching Andy Vargas there. He was suggesting the player had actually kicked out at his team, but I'm unaware of what actually happened there. We didn't see anything.
Here's Sutton. Wayne makes a run. Sutton keeps going. Some of the players saying there was a kick out somewhere. Here's the free kick awarded to Sutton. Not sure there was too much in that.
Oh, pretty innocuous, wasn't it? Limited touch. Once again, giving Piscopo the opportunity to deliver a fine cross.
All three goals coming in the first half here at ABD Stadium. Sotirio with a double to kick things off, and then Ben Wayne made it 3 inside the first half an hour. And Avondale having a player sent off. Blake Carpenter. That was all before half-time as the free kick is played to the near post. Katabian been everywhere tonight for Avondale, heading that one away. It breaks now for Germano. He doesn't want to take on Payne. He releases Trajewski instead. Needs to go here, Trajewski. What about that recovery?
What a covering
from
tackle
Payne.
There. I loved his early decision. He actually could have gone and engaged in a 50-50 tackle, but actually used his experience, dropped off the game to make that player make that decision. That recovering position was outstanding. Fantastic block.
Tim Payne, one of the oldest in this squad, and didn't look like it then. Look at that recovery. Here they go again with Wayne putting pressure on the keeper. Gee, that was dangerous. Very dangerous from Rory Bryan. He backed himself.
Great composure. Very brave. We've seen them go the other way in times.
Ben Wayne's eyes lit up, the young striker. Trajewski.
One thing's for certain, Wellington have certainly lost the ball control. There's no doubt about that. You know, Avondale really building into the game. Unfortunately, as we speak about that, the ball's given away again, but they are retaining the ball a lot more in that midfield.
Perhaps Wellington knowing that they're 3-0 up, just taking the foot off the pedal just a little bit.
You beat me to my point. I think that's certainly the case.
A bit of self-preservation, knowing that the A-League, the Isuzu Men's A-League competition returns for them, and they're back into action on Sunday against Sydney FC Avondale returns to his former side. Piscopo manages to hold his run. Piscopo thought about the shot. He had plenty of numbers inside the area to cut the ball back, and David Ball showing his frustration with that one.
Certainly did, but you see he's actually starting positions in the build-up to that. Really intelligent. He's actually on the inside of the fullback. The lack of communication from the centre-back to number 2 here, as you can see, allows him to make that forward run in behind. Very, very intelligent. He's impressed me tonight, Michael.
He's had 70 minutes and doesn't look like he's going to be taking off anytime soon, as the Wellington fans continue to find their voice. They're enjoying this one. Manhattan with the ball to the far post. And that's a golden opportunity from Ben Wayne, who you'd expect to do a lot better from that range.
I actually don't know how he's missed. Fantastic cross, but once again, where's the awareness of Avondale? They're pushing up, trying to get pressure on the ball carrier and leaving players in there. I would have thought in that area there, it's either the goalkeeper's ball or he's offside.
Well, that's a miss that Ben Wayne won't want to see again. Yeah, it was just inside the 6-yard area. Couldn't keep it down. He scored a wonderful header in that win over Western United a fortnight ago to get them to the round of 16. The winner of this one, of course, playing Melbourne City next week. Yet to be confirmed, but likely to be on Wednesday of next week. And due to the fact that Wellington can't play and host games, that game will be hosted by Melbourne City. Be interesting to see where they play that game, and whether it's at Amy Park or at an NPL venue.
Well, I must say, this venue here is outstanding. You know, we were talking in the break there about NPL standard, and if we can get to a position within 5-10 years, if not longer, that all NPL 1 teams had facilities like this, what an achievement that would be for soccer in Australia.
Yeah, great setup here in Broadmeadows as Sutton makes a run for Wellington, looking for a fourth. Pass takes a deflection, and Avondale will clear it through Matthew Reid. Germano. Second attempt finds the pass. Trajchevski. Now Katabian. His overlapping run from the centre-back decides to go to the near post. He's found himself in unfamiliar territory. Scott Hillier.
Did I just hear that right? You said overlapping centre-back?
He did. I did. And that's what he did.
Seen it all.
Well, when you're down to 10 men, you have to try it all, don't you?
No, you do. You do. Great energy from the young man.
Trajchevski to Yite Towns. Barcia plays it back. Yite Towns. Valentini. Skips inside Valentini. Towns. Now Trajchevski. Can he find a shot? Trajchevski at the near post.
Better.
Deflected away. Corner kick, Avondale.
Better. You know, there's a player we used to work back with back in the day at Fulham, Adel Tarap. I don't know if you know him, but Valentini reminds me of him. Just the way he slaloms through players and his biomechanics and how he works. Very, very similar to Adel Tarap.
Corner kick here for Avondale. Much improved performance from Zoran Markovski's side in the second half. Short corner. Trajchevski plays it to the far post. Could go anywhere here. And in fact, it ends up in the back of the net. And they do get one back. They've put pressure on in this second half. And finally, the pressure pays off. Jonathan Germano gets the crowd going and says, this ain't over yet.
And that's well deserved, isn't it? On the balance of play in the second half, they've continued to fight, they've continued to work. We've got our centre-backs overlapping. Now he finds himself in the box and obviously puts that away.
He'd be disappointed with the defending there. Ufuk-Tele, they had a couple of chances to clear it.
Yep.
As he makes another substitution. Rene Piscopo coming off for Luca Prusso.
would amaze you the amount of goals that are conceded in second or third phase defending. Absolutely boils the head of a head coach. You think you're out of trouble, and then suddenly you find yourself conceding through lack of organisation. Now, this is what I was expecting in the first half from Avondale. You know, a lot of ball movement, the intensity's high now. They've obviously scored a great goal. You know, their intensity's up. They're really fighting for it. They see an opportunity to at least score another one, at least.
I think it was Matthew Reid with the final touch.
Yep.
The centre back. So they've got a little sniff here. Another goal would make things interesting for Avondale. A man down. 3-0 down at half-time. But they say it ain't over till it's over.
Yeah. But you see their system change slightly. You know, obviously playing through the middle of the park. They've got more numbers there now. They can actually control it. The passes are shorter, which is actually committing Wellington a lot more.
Hillier getting forward again. Now he's Reid. Plays a forward pass. Trying to break the lines again. They thought they might have had a free kick there. Germano appealing for it. Now they've got some defensive work to do. Wellington breaking numbers. Manhattan, the substitute, just couldn't quite find it. Here's the replay of the goal. Germano putting the ball in. And it was Reid.
Yeah, great header.
Desperate to the ball. Saw the opportunity and looped it over in the far post.
Intensity's certainly risen. The crowd are anticipating a little bit more as well. Can Avondale score another one? I actually feel they potentially can. I feel they're at it.
They've got the momentum for sure. And you saw the reaction from Jonathan Germano. Valentini doing the chasing. Germano as well. And the press is on. Oh, he lost his feet. Joey Katabian. They almost were in there. The turnover was almost on. They've given away a foul. It'll be a free kick to Wellington. They'll take their time here.
Yeah, they need to. They need to actually regain complete momentum of the game. They've lost it now. They're actually penetrating too quickly. Why not just get the ball in the attacking half, rotate it, and be more patient?
Manhattan couldn't find a way through and just booted forward. Valentini doing the chasing. Ollie Sale with the clearance. He's done a bulk of work, Valentini, tonight. And what about that from Katabian, the nutmeg? Very cheeky. Ricabene. Here's the goal scorer. Matt Reid. Now Hillier, the long ball forward. Ben Wayne, claims of offside from the Avondale bench. Waved away. No foul there on Van Houten. They have another chance here through Germano. Valentini in space. Stefan Valentini thought about it. Now has two to beat. Valentini makes the run. They wanted the corner kick, but the referee points to the goal kick. But again, another slight opening for Zoran Markovski's side.
You know, and a few times I'm watching Oscar Van Houten here. Not clinical enough with possession. He keeps losing that ball in the attacking half. He's driving the gap and his team are in possession mode. He wants to attack the box. Be calm, young man. Get on the ball, rotate it, keep it simple.
You've got to give credit to Avondale for continuing to fight. They were 3-0 down inside half an hour. Then they had a player sent off, and it could have been disastrous, but They've shown plenty of character in this second half.
No, you're right. They've rallied. They've obviously spoken about at half-time about their values as a team, and they've got to remain consistent to that, and we've certainly seen them up the ante in the second half. Better quality with the ball, better structure without it, certainly, and obviously creating really good chances.
A little bit going on behind the ball, bringing the Wellington bench up on their feet. Van Houten now.
That's better. Oscar Van Houten.
Plays a ball forward for Ball. He has plenty of support. David Ball plays the short pass. Across, takes the deflection. And that is the fourth. That will be it for the Wellington Phoenix. A terrific ball played across by the substitute Kellum Elliott. And Wellington now celebrate. They will be through to the quarterfinal of the FFA Cup. They soaked up the pressure and then the sucker punch with the fourth.
Yeah, fantastic play. Just look at Ball's decision making here. Driving the gap, commits the centre back. Fantastic way to pass. Bit of fortune on the finish here. Slight deflection potentially, but great movement. Great movement. But just going back to Oscar Van Houten there, he actually did it simple. He brought the midfielder into play that allowed that attack and the resulting goal. Fantastic.
The Wellington fans have got their shirts off and starting to celebrate. And we apologise for any colourful language coming through the microphones.
Just as we thought, Avondale, they'd changed the rhythm and momentum of the game there. Whether or not they would score again, they were doing a good job. And now, obviously, that's just gone to waste.
We'll see who that goal was credited to. There was a deflection on the way through. Here's Katabian. Ball played off Germano and a throw in. As the celebrations continue for the Wellington Phoenix fan, they know their team has done enough now, if there was any doubt.
Don't know if it's warm enough, Michael, to have those tops off. What do you think? We've got the big coats on.
It was a beautiful day today, Melbourne, but it is fresh now.
You've been to Tenerife down there, the old shirt tan lines.
Here's Ball playing it out to Elliott. Again, another chance. Van Houten with a golden opportunity to make it 5 to substitute. And he completely scuffed his chance.
Yeah, that's got to be a goal. Clear opportunity for the young man. Clear opportunity. He's got to be clinical in those situations.
So they've weathered the storm, the Wellington Phoenix. As Avondale applied some pressure on them in this second half. Zoran Markovski, the Avondale coach, now preparing to make some substitutions and give some of his younger players an opportunity on the big stage. Here's Katabian. Barcia, Germano, lovely pass for Katabian and now Valentini. Sliding challenge from Sutton, and that's out of play, and that'll be a throw in to Avondale. So 3 substitutions incoming. Adam El-Hayek, the number 15. Jai Spiteri, the number 4. And Brandon Lundy, number 19, all with an opportunity to have their moment in the next 6 minutes plus injury time. Ben Wayne coming off just to take in some fluids as substitutes prepared to come onto the park. Barcia just receiving some treatment there. He's done a lot of work in the midfield as well.
Yeah, he's worked hard. Obviously, with Wellington's system, having those 4 players against 3 in midfield, you know, the ability to get up, get pressure on the ball carrier, and then also cover and screen the players in advanced areas as well is very, very difficult.
Trajchevski and Matt Reid coming off. I'm tipping it might be Barcia, given that he's receiving some treatment, Mario Barcia, to come off for Adam Al-Hayek. Taking his time. So a great opportunity here for some of the youngsters to test themselves against A-League opposition. Valentini wins the ball back, has plenty to beat, tries to barge his way through. Numbers win out in the end with Wellington maintaining possession. Momentarily, Wayne couldn't keep the ball in play. Here's Lundy with his first touch. Now Rico Bene. Looking for Valentini with the long diagonal ball. Finds him. Stefan Valentini. Makes a great run inside the area. Finds some space, and the shot for the substitute with his first touch, Adam Al-Hayek, wasn't too far off the mark. No. Nice ball work from Valentini out on the right-hand side.
Yeah, superb. You know, obviously slightly different build-up play in terms of Riccobene here, playing that ball wide to Valentini, obviously peeling out into those areas there. Fantastic feat to get through those three Wellington Phoenix players, showing his ability there, and, you know, more importantly, the final product as well, to find a player on the end of it.
Finn Sermon now coming on for the Wellington Phoenix, another player who did start a fortnight ago in the round of 32 clash against Western United.
No, he's been solid tonight in the back line there. You know, really clean with his possession, linking up with the midfield and obviously those covering positions as well.
Josh Law's making way for him. Wellington Phoenix only made it to the round of 16 once in their history of the FFA Cup. This will be their first time through to the quarterfinals. They did lose the only other time they were at this stage of the competition against Melbourne City, and Melbourne City will be their opponents in the quarterfinal. That game to be played midweek next week. As Valentini goes down, let's hope it's just cramp. But obviously Avondale in their off-season at the moment. This will be the last game of their 2021 campaign, if you like. But most NPL clubs now in pre-season mode as the competitions kick off around February and March time.
Yeah, for sure. They would have, a lot of NPL 1 clubs anyway, you normally start around November time. November, December, quite a very busy period of time. Over the last couple of weekends, you've seen a lot of NPL 1 teams playing games as well, but you'd imagine this will be one of the last periods of time they'll train or play in the build up to Christmas. They'll get a couple of weeks off and then really kick on again in January. But you know what, I'm happy for them tonight. I really am, in a sense of the first half really disappointing, but you know, the behaviours we've seen in the second half has been outstanding. They've controlled possession at times as well. You know, they haven't stopped. That will do them proud. The coach will speak about that in the dressing room after the game, about the quality he saw in the second half, with obviously 10 players. So, you know, it's always one of those ones, Zap, as what would have been, obviously with 11 players, but, you know, Wellington were outstanding in those initial stages as well. Yeah,
and all NPL clubs in Victoria will be hoping that they can get through this next season,
Oh,
2022, without any interruption.
I think I've been at Langwarrin for 3 years now and coached maybe 40, 45 games. So, it should be close around 80 odd, but let's hope we can get through it.
Here's Sutton. Is there one more in this for Ben Wayne? Sizes it up. Elliott with the shots. Not far away.
Great strike.
The substitute. He hit it sweetly. And Rory Bryan could only watch as it whistled past his post.
Going to be really curious watching Wayne over the years, seeing as he develops into a more mature player. He's obviously got that physical presence, but what's between his eyes and ears in terms of how smart he becomes with smart, intelligent runs there. You can actually see he's already starting to think about his positional sense in the game structure as well, which is exciting for the future for the career of the young person.
Sermon with a touch out to Elliott. A couple of the substitutes involved there for Wellington. Persaud. And the flag goes up. Natal with another opportunity here to work it forward. Towns. This is Lundy. Wins the throw-in, the substitute. Ball played into the near post. Wellington will have another opportunity here on the counter with plenty of numbers forward. And Hatton keeps it in. They want a fifth. And Hatton tries to wrap his foot around it. He just couldn't get the shape on the ball. See what he was trying to do?
Yeah, execution was poor, but, he's actually getting a round of applause from the manager, Ufuk Tele. He was determined. He showed, that commitment to drive the gap. It was the right thing to do. It was just that final execution.
Nice ball forward for Towns. Just couldn't control it. Keeper spotted off his line. Was that an attempt of shot and goal, do you reckon?
No, I saw Wayne. He was fuming because it was actually meant to be fizzed into his feet.
Yeah.
He would have been in between the centre-backs, clear on goal. So, an error in his pass for certain.
Katabian, he's played almost every position on the pitch tonight. He's been everywhere.
You're spot on. I was looking at his position there thinking, right, he's dropping in between centre-backs now, picking the ball up, controlling play. Fair play to him.
Didn't start in the Doherty Cup final on the weekend. But he's put in a solid shift tonight, Joey Katabian, the former Melbourne Victory player. Ball played across too quickly. Sam Sutton. And there is the final whistle here at ABD Stadium. It's the Wellington Phoenix who march on to the quarterfinals of the FFA Cup with a resounding victory in the end. Full-time score, Avondale 1, Wellington 4. In the end, Scott Miller, a comprehensive win from Ufuk Tele's side.
Yeah, I was thinking professional, comprehensive, great way to describe the game. Weathered the initial storm, got back into the game, outstanding finishes from numerous touch points tonight. Tactically, they were more astute, very well organised, but more importantly, moving on to the weekend now. FFA Cup's done and dusted now. Move on to Saturday or Sunday when they play Sydney with a lot more confidence. Everyone's fit, everyone's available, which is important. Got 90 minutes into a key players, and once again they move forward.
Yeah, the games will come thick and fast for the Wellington Phoenix. A game on Sunday, then a game again midweek for the FFA Cup. And it started so brightly for them with some wonderful finishing from Josh Sotirio.
Yeah, outstanding. You've seen Josh Sotirio over the years get into these key areas on the park and obviously blaze away and miss. But then tonight he was just on fire. His composure in front of